all the beloveds come to experience some quickening of spirit. I am Astrology Miraculii, and welcome to Ascension Live, with today's subject being the Innerverse. You know, we think a lot about the universe, and we also have an inner verse. The Innerverse is the microcosm of the universe. Just as any cell within our being is the microcosm of our whole genetic makeup. You know, one cell from anywhere within the body can recreate the whole body, is the micro container of all that the body is. And for each and every one of us within this Innerverse that we are, there lies the microcosmic container, the chalice of our beingness that holds everything that is, was, or ever will be relative to the universe. Blessed be the Innerverse. It's time that we come into the recognition that we are this Innerverse. You hear me speaking a lot about the vortex of creation, about the I and the I am of the storm, the inner sanctum of being, the heaven within us, all being synonymous with the Innerverse. What is your relationship with your Innerverse? Are you so caught up in the trials and tribulations of your life that all you're able to see is the pain of what's going on for you? Or are you looking beyond that pain? Are you seeing and being at resonance with the Innerverse, which is the access code to all of the blessedness that is, was, or ever will be, all of the healing balms that are, were, or ever will be, all of the solutions that are, were, or ever will be, all of the healings that are, were, or ever will be. Every single thing that you could possibly want or require can be found within the Innerverse of your being. But we must choose to be in relationship with the Innerverse. The Innerverse that we are is our resonance with the Akashic Records, the book of God's remembrance, wherein lies the knowledge of everything that is, was, or ever will be. We can access all knowledge through the Innerverse. When we're feeling a sense of guilt, maybe others are projecting blame onto us, and then we take on that blame as shame and guilt. When we dive into the deeper resonance of relationship with the Innerverse, then we're able to see beyond the shame. We're able to see the illusion that the shaming and the blaming is, because the shaming and the blaming does not exist within the Innerverse. It is all of the outwardness of life, the surface of life: shame, blame, guilt, fear, doubt, worry, hatred, poverty, lack, limitation, all of those things are of the surface outwardness of life and will never be found within your innerverse, my innerverse, our innerverse. When we want to experience more deeply the relationship that we have with Creator Source, with God, Goddess Absolute, we access that relationship dance, that dance with divinity, that rendezvous with God through the innerverse. And it is simply by virtue of the vehicle of intention that we come into resonance with the innerverse. In the resonance of the innerverse, we find our God, Goddesshood. We find our innocence. We find our sacredness. We find our capacity to forgive. In the inner resonance of the innerverse, we find our invincibility, invisibility, invulnerability. We find our immunity physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Within our innerverse is the absolute solution to COVID-19, which is not something that is yet to come about, but something that already is in the formless domain of reality. When we are in deep relationship with the innerverse, we come to understand that the first stage of reality is formless. And that which is formless gives birth to form. The human trap is we're always trying to create form out of form. You cannot create form from form. You create form from formless. We have to have an idea about the manifestation that we want. That idea is formless. That intention is formless. And then it gives birth to that which then becomes crystallized within the domain of form. The innerverse is the domain of formlessness, the domain of spirit. Spirit is formless. Our Creator Source is not solid crystallization, except when the creation has been sent forth, and then Creator allows Creator Self to be clothed within the manifestation of form. But there is always the predecessor of formlessness that happens and that is before the form. And the form is constantly changing. All things of time and space at some point will be erased. See, form is always changing. Formless is eternal. Let us align with the innerverse. Within the innerverse, I come into the reality of the fact that I love myself with all of the love that is, was, or ever will be. If you're truly loving yourself, and you're loving yourself from the focal point of the innerverse, the inner heaven of your being, then you love yourself with all of the love that is, was, or ever will be, because you're in the recognition that your individualization or your individualized experience of love is the microcosmic container of all the love that is, was, or ever will be. Every moment of love always reaches out and empowers every other moment of love, and in turn is empowered by every other moment of love. Just as there is a oneness of wholeness of being, there is a oneness of wholeness of love. And we come into the resonance of this wisdom through our dance with the innerverse that we are. When we're in resonance with the innerverse, when I am in resonance with the innerverse, then I understand that I am at peace with peace ad infinitum. When there is genuine peace inside, then that peace receives the showering and the baptism of all of the peace that is, was, or ever will be, because there is also a oneness of wholeness, of peace. Oneness of wholeness of being, oneness of wholeness of peace. When I am in the resonance of holding wisdom, then I'm holding all of the wisdom that is, was, or ever will be, because every focal point of wisdom reaches out to empower every other focal point of wisdom, and in turn be empowered by every other focal point of wisdom. Any moment of wisdom is the access code to every moment of wisdom. That's how powerful it is. Let us come into this delicious relationship with the Innerverse. When we're in relationship with the Innerverse, we wield a power that is the root of all of the power that is, was, or ever will be. There is a oneness of wholeness of power. When we are at resonance with the Innerverse that we are, we receive the all abundance, because any focal point of abundance is the micro container of every focal point of abundance. Any measure of abundance is the access code to every measure of abundance. When we know that, we will be truly in the richness of our being. It will be like a wonderful invocation I wrote called Money Formula, where I say, money, money, crystallize, stream right now into my hands. Golden sun within me rise, and let abundance take a stand. I allow the manifestation, big financial compensation, great success. Come along and sing with me prosperity song. I am filled with inspiration. Gold now fills my situation. With my heart, I thank you, Lord. All I want, I can afford. Let it not only be for me, let all the world be rich and free. Let love and peace and truth abound in my life, the world around, and in my hands be ceaseless action, bringing wealth and satisfaction. With God, vision and reflection, see my money's resurrection. Blessings here and all about. Courage, faith, and wisdom sprout. Gold for me and you is everywhere, and with all we ever share. So let good fortune go before me, right beside me and behind me. All with money now adore me. With gold and emeralds they adorn me. Here's the vision I now see. My love has brought reality. Oh yes, it does exist for me. The angels have now set me free. And that's an excerpt from my book, Miraculii, Song of Ascension. And then there's a major piece I want to share with you, which is Cause and Effect, the universal law of necessity, that I wrote at the tender age of 22 when I first stepped onto my spiritual path. And just a little note before the piece says, of everything that is contained within this entire book, this was the first thing that I wrote at age 22. From that moment, I saw the wisdom and the vision for my whole life, and felt a power that tenderly rocked my world. So here it is, from the heart of the tender age of 22. And yet the wisdom contained herein is ageless. That which is necessary. That which is necessary shall be. There is no escape from the fulfillment of necessity. to make a vain attempt will find one in the spider web of cyclicity. Around and around, a constant revolution. Not learning the lesson or receiving the message that would afford one a divine solution. But as for every experience, yours or mine, we are the creators of necessity. In thought and word and deed you see. Never an element of chance, not for you or for me, because we project the causes, the effects become necessary. We create action, circumstance, and destiny, and now we know exactly what to expect through the universal law of cause and effect. But during the times when something negative would happen to us, our burdens seemed so heavy and oh, how unjust. We cursed and cried, how could this happen to us? But the seeming negative thing was a lesson and a message too that could be highly beneficial to me and to you. The lesson and the message were like a door marked pull, but our head was so hard and we were as stubborn as a bull, for there we were pushing on a door marked pull. What are we doing? No wonder all the strife. Let us pass through the door of experience, and it will serve us in life. So we open up the door, we stand tall, and we face it. Our cup is somewhat bitter, but we receptively embrace it. It's a very wise decision, for we cannot escape it. Yes, this effect was reaped from a cause we did so, and now is simply the time to pay the debt that we owe. So with calm assurance we now walk through the door, to be tormented by this experience no more. For the lesson we have learned and the message we did hear it, oh how it expanded our mind and quickened our spirit. Yes, that circumstance was no element of chance. We were only receiving our own. And that's why we embraced it. Behold the things of greater brilliance on the other side of the door that now dutifully and joyously fulfill and replace it. To think we foolishly thought it was a disadvantage. What a blessing to realize that every seeming negative thing must always have an equal positive advantage. And now that all negative thoughts have been divinely released, our countenance is filled with that heavenly peace, a peace firm in the supreme spirit of eternal standing. I mean that unshakable peace that passeth understanding. And now we deny the existence of anything distressing, for there's a lesson that is teaching and a message wisely expressing to please study us closely, for we are really a blessing. And now whatever our fate, let us not be disturbed. It did not happen to hurt us, but to humbly serve. Despite the seeming pain and apparent distress, all situations are to uplift our consciousness. And now, whatever our fate, let us not be disturbed. It did not happen to hurt us, but to humbly serve. For the knowledge has been bestowed upon you and upon me that whatever comes into being is born of necessity. No more will we be caught in the web of cyclicity. We're now empowered by the dance of cause and effect, the universal law of necessity. So many of us get caught in the spider web of cyclicity, around and around, a constant revolution, not learning the lesson or receiving the message that would afford one a divine solution. I love you, Maria. I haven't seen you in a while. Sending you a lot of love and power and upliftment, dear sister. Thank you for tuning in. So we want to transcend this spider web of cyclicity. We want to learn everything that we were meant to learn from the difficulties of life. We want to hold that frequency, even with regards to this COVID-19 experience. See, when we're in the innerverse of our being, we can send forth vibrations that become an impact of transformation for every being in the whole of existence. So let's send the frequency of upliftment to those who are in a state of fear, those who are in a state of confusion, those who are being molested by the uncertainty that we all have a triple helping on our plate. Whether we like it or not, we're going to have to eat up the uncertainty that's on the plate of our life. And yet when we're in resonance with the innerverse, then even though it's uncertain, we are so empowered by that because we can lay our head in the lap and the arms of the certainty of our eternal nature. We are the creators of necessity in thought and word and deed, you see. Never an element of chance, not for you or for me, because we project the causes and the effects become necessary. A lot of times we have this connection to the cause and effect of life, but actually that whole frequency is really threefold. It's not just cause and effect. It's really cause, effect, and then affect. You see, the affect is reflected in the attitude. You're like, what effect are you allowing the effects in your life to have upon you? You know, what effect does the effect of COVID-19 have upon you? Are you giving your power away to it? Are you getting caught up in fear? Or are you strongly declaring that you are empowered by everything and looking for the advantage within the adversity? Because in the innerverse of your being is the solution to all things. But during the times when something negative would happen to us, our burdens seem so heavy, and oh, how unjust. We cursed and cried, how could this happen to us? But the seeming negative thing was a lesson and a message too that could be highly beneficial to me and to you. The lesson and the message were like a door marked pool, but our head was so hard, we were as stubborn as a bull, for there we were pushing on a door marked pool. And of course, beloved, if you're pushing on a door marked pool, you cannot get rites of passage. And everything that shows up in our life is a door marked pool. Before we can have resolution, we must receive that thing unto ourselves. Just like when the door is marked pool, we take hold of the handle and we pull that door unto ourselves very near unto our breasts, and then we're able to walk through. But you get rites of passage by first receiving that. Because once we learn all that any situation has to teach, the negativity outlives its usefulness. So let us stop trying to fight against the current. You know, pushing against the pull. Don't push against the pull. Receive it. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Even the bad and the ugly has something to teach. Go to the central core of the bad and the ugly, and all you will find is light. Because the center is the domain of light. The center is the innerverse. So let us come home to ourselves. I offer this wisdom on the wings of these tones. And also giving you a little heads up, if you're wanting to come on live with me, I'll be ready to receive you just in a few minutes. So you can put in your request. I channel the higher self of our being. I move in the resonance of that which is divine within my soul. I align with the resonance of the Innerverse that I am. And even though in the outwardness of my life there is turbulence, there is trials, there is tribulations, there is warring, there is confrontation, there is dis-ease, there is viruses, those things, days are numbered. I recognize the distinct difference between that which is the purity of my Innerverse and those outward things that represent the trials and tribulations. I say unto you, all trials and tribulations, thank you for your service unto me. I am open and receptive. I have learned everything that you have to teach. Your services are needed no more. I am in the arms of the Innerverse of my being. From the resonance of the Innerverse of my being, I dance with the absoluteness of peace, the peace that passeth all understanding. That peace within me that allows me to be invincible, invisible, and invulnerable to any and all negativity, viruses, dis-ease, or whatever. I align with the divinity of my soul. I recognize that I am the microcosmic God. I am the microcosmic goddess. Just as the wave carries the full quality of the ocean, so it is that I carry the full quality of my Creator Absolute. And I allow myself to consciously attune with this divine reality. I allow myself to consciously attune to the all-wisdom that exists within my being. Allowing the individualization of my expression of wisdom to reach out and to interface with every other expression of wisdom that is, was, or ever will be, all the way down the corridors of forever, the foreverness of eternity. I align with the Innerverse of my being. And I allow myself to love myself with all of the love that is, was, or ever will be. I love myself with the absoluteness of love. I receive the baptism of love that pours all upon me. And I dance in the resonance of the fact that I am welcome to and worthy of all of this love that is, was, or ever will be. And I also am of the presence of mind and heart, that I extend a counterpart of this blessedness of love unto every being in all existence. I also pour out the baptism upon every being in all existence with this resonance of the frequency of love. I honor my divine nature. I honor your divine nature. I thank you, beloved, for remembering who you are. I thank you for knowing that you make a monumental impact upon the expansion of life. I thank you for knowing that life would be utterly incomplete without you. I thank you for knowing that you're your own version of the whole universe and no one can do the universe exactly like you. I thank you for being of the awareness that you are a blessing unto Creator Source. And even within this now moment, as I channel the higher self of our being, we offer unto you, divine Creator, all of the blessedness of the whole universe, allowing it to portal through us. We are empowered and up-leveled in our gratitude and up-leveled in our self-esteem by virtue of our knowingness that we stand in the capacity by virtue of our relationship with our Innerverse that we bless our Creator. So, beloved God, Goddess Absolute, we bless you. And yes, we know you are infinitely rich in blessings. Yes, we know that you don't need a blessing, and yet when we give you a blessing, you are even more multiplied than you were beforehand. Just like us, if we're rich in love and someone wants to share love with us, we don't say, oh, I'm all full up, I don't need no more love. Creator never said, I'm all full up, I don't need any more blessings, but receive the blessings that we offer because we are microcosmic extensions of Creator Source and therefore have the power to bless Creator as Creator has blessed us. And so we stand in the reality of our capacity to bless. We bless you, Creator. We bless you, Mother Earth. We bless you, every being upon this earth. We bless every being that is in a state of fear and confusion and worry and doubt. We see a greater vibration of exaltation within your being. We look beyond the limitations of your being. We see the redemption of your being. We see the courage of your being. We see the faith of your being. We see the power of your being. We see the overcoming of your being. We see the wholeness and the immunity of your being as we see it for our own self. We are grateful. We are grateful to be waking up to the reality of our true being. Thank you, Divine Creator, for giving us the presence of mind and heart to always be in relationship with our Innerverse. We are the Innerverse, which is the access code to the universe.